I have one mandate, and that is to do all of this in 4 minutes. And so, number one, it is an honor to be selected again to work with the Committee of 100. I see that over the years you choose different polling firms in the United States every couple of years. This is our third project in a row, so it's an honor, special honor to work with my good friend. This is a real pro here, Victor Yuan. Let's talk about what we did first and foremost. The survey in the United States is in 4 different levels. The first was among the general public. We polled 1,200 adults nationwide between August 20th and September 4th of this past year. We used a statistically representative sample of the general population, 18 years and older, and applied weights by various demographic groupings to ensure that our sample reflected the adult sample, the adult population of the United States by region, party, age, race, religion, and so on. The overall results you'll see in the general public survey have a margin of sampling error plus or minus 2.9. We also polled opinion leaders nationwide between August 20th and September 19th. Mainly, it was done by telephone, as was the sample of the general public. There were 200 opinion elites. And the sample reflects, as we normally do, about 25% from media, 25% from academia, 25% from non-governmental organizations. These are all leaders, of course, and 25% from the public sector. The lists were drawn from our proprietary lists, which we've compiled over the years. Opinion leader results have a margin of sampling error plus or minus 7. Business leaders were the third group. The survey of business leaders, business elites, was between August 20th and September 14th, done by telephone, and the sample was based on executives and senior level decision makers from a cross-section of American corporations with at least 500 employees, and also was randomly drawn from trade associations, trade groups, lobbying firms, chambers of commerce, economic development groups. The business leader interviews have a margin of sampling error of plus or minus 8. And then finally, congressional staffers. And I will just suggest to you that there was some significant movement on the part of congressional staffers, which made things very interesting. It makes this field so dynamic. That was also done between August 20th and September 14th, done mainly through telephone interviews, but we also had as a backup emailing results, or emailing questionnaires to those who agreed on various congressional staffs to complete the survey. There's 100 congressional staffers composed of selected senior staff, including legislative counsels, legislative directors, legislative assistants, chiefs of staff, and senior advisors from purchased congressional staff email and telephone lists. We applied some weights to ensure that we had some balance, mainly in terms of a partisan balance, and the margin of error for those results are plus or minus 10. That explains what we did, and now I believe Victor will explain what was done in China. Is that 4 minutes?
Yeah. Less. Thank you very much. Just as John pointed out, this is the first time we have the mirror study. Of course, Horizon do have this tradition that we have the first study about the so-called Chinese International Perception Study, which is basically titled as the World in Chinese Eyes. But this time, it's the first time we can have the honor work together with the Committee 100 and also John Zogby's organizations to try to use a consistent questionnaire and try to use the same indicators to reflect the perception and observations from same dimensions. So I think this is really worth of all of us to look at carefully about this comparable results, and especially for some very sensitive part, especially media, is paid a lot of attention to. So I think later our research fellows, they will present more about the contents. About our method. There's the whole study. In China side, we have a 3-part of interview. The first part is the general public. Slightly different was John Zogby, their research. And basically, our sampling way is so-called ad hoc plus multi-stage sampling way. Ad hoc is basically is purposely to select some typical Chinese locations, either in the city level or town level and the rural level. So we actually we conducted a survey in the 21 places, including city and counties. Then when we decided this place, then we using the resident committee and the village committee as a primary sampling units, randomly draw out this committees as our sampling unit. Then we come to this unit to figure out. Basically, we based on all the number of households. The computer will help us to figure out which household will be interviewed. So that's a basic way to figure out who will be interviewed in China side. If you look at the way, and also we are different, Dr. John Zogby, their interviews will be phone call interview. In China side, we have a face-to-face interview. But basically, if you look at the nationwide, we only have about 40% of a penetration rate of fixed phone. So that is why, if we want to cover the general population, so we need to using the face-to-face interview, try to cover all the households. And the second part would be the opinion leader study. I think this is also one of the important part we need to look at, because basically, actually Chinese, the general public's perception heavily impacted by the elites idea. Mainly the reports and all those informations you can look at from the media is delivered by this elites group. So that is why, to some degree, they are even more important than in the United States. The elites, basically for the China side, we have the 4 subgroup of elites, including the social scientists, professionals, journalists, and also those leaders from the NGO and some private sectors. So we put all those together. We got about 350 people. The basic way is using the quota. A stratified quota way. It's basically we look at for each subgroup, we consider about the possible segmentation of each subgroup. So then we give some quota for each segmentation. The typical would be snowball rolling. So for opinion leader study, which is not a random sampling way, it's a proposed sampling. The third part of a business leader. I think that's why we only choose a business. That's also a very important way. First, to keep a consistency with Zogby International. But also, in China, the reform basically started from the economy side, and also would be only way, move forward very quickly. So the business leader really play a very important role in China. They impact not only lifestyle, but also about the thinking way. So that is why we put this as a very important part. The business leaders, they are basically, the samples are drawn from our sampling pools. We have a pool composed of about 20,000 entrepreneurs and professional managers in that pool. And so we're using the random sampling way to draw out the interviewees from our pool. So that's a basic way. And then after the whole study, we also keep the consistency about analysis way. So you look at the format, the result, we using the same format to do the analysis. And also that's, I think, contributions mainly from the Zogby International, because they do the format first. So then we just fill the data from China side into it. Yeah, that's a pretty honor to work together with Zogby. And most important, I think, this time study we do work together with Committee 100 and the co-chair of the research committee, and also the whole leadership of Committee 100. They put a lot to try to. I think this is not only methodology, but also about figure out a way how to come out a quality study. It's a fit to the audience from both sides very well, and not only general public audience, but also the high-level political audience. So I think I learned a lot from this the working process. Thank you very much.